right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Rakakwadash, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Shai. Alright, and what I want to get into with this morning's lesson, is dealing with a ride for the back of a fool. Okay, and Esau Edom is that main fool. Now you have these other heathens that have followed this man, alright, which is going to lead them, okay, to the ride of correction that's going to come through Yahweh Shai. And 2/3, okay, which is they're going to receive their ride of correction at the coming of Yahweh Shai. Okay, now Esau and the heathens, they're going to have to deal with their ride of correction for 1,000 years. Okay, their rigorous captivity. And Esau, he's going to be exterminated after that. Okay, and Jake is going to have to deal, 2/3 of our people, they're going to have to deal with their ride of correction at the coming of Yahweh Shai. And they're going to be born back into a righteous kingdom. You see, but their ride of correction, okay, is coming to the earth through Yahweh Shai. Okay, and this is the only thing left in Esau's kingdom is for him to be judged. And these heathens to be judged with him that are partakers of this hope, all right, of this rebellion with this new world order. Okay, and our people that's getting ready to bend the knee to this new world order, which is all a rebellion, man. Okay, so when you go to the book of Proverbs 23:6, it says a whip for a horse, a bridle for the ass, and a ride for the fool's back. You see, a ride for the fool's back, man. And Esau is the goddamn fool of the earth, man. Okay, what this devil is trying to do, he's the biggest goddamn fool on the planet Earth. And you heathens following this nigga makes you a fool. 2/3, you following Esau makes you a goddamn fool, man. Okay, and that's their ride, their punishment, you see, is going to be for what? The back, okay, of a fool, man. Okay, Yahweh Shai coming back to give out stripes, man. Okay, horrific judgment. You see? And let's go here, because you go to Psalms. All right, Psalms 14. Okay, this Psalms 14:1. It says, the fool have said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. Okay, so only a goddamn fool in his heart, okay, a fool in his mind, okay, will operate as if the Most High don't exist, man. Because Esau, the way this devil moves, you would think that there's no higher power. And that's why a lot of people don't have a reverence for a higher power, because Esau don't move with a reverence for a higher power. Okay? And this devil, he's in the know. Okay? But he's so delusional and hyped up, okay, on the power that was given unto him, man. He feels, okay, as if he's, okay, the Most High. And he feels that he's above the judgment of the Most High, man. Okay, that's how this man has reason within himself, in his heart, in his mind. Okay, which makes him a goddamn fool. Okay, and you heathens are trying to help Esau pull off this new world order, or you in cahoots with this devil, you in agreement. Okay, which we know eventually y'all are starting to fall out and, fight for position. But ultimately, you're a fool for even agreeing to this system, man. You damn heathens, man. The rest of you heathens. Okay? And that's why even you go here, that conspiracy of you heathens, was you a goddamn fool for trying to pull this off with Esau, well, it's going to lead to what? Their ride. Okay, of anger, man. That Yahweh Shai is coming with. Psalms 2:1, I'm going to read it in the NLT. It said, why are the nations so angry? Why do they haste and waste their time with futile plans, because this is a foolish plan. Okay? To try to replace the Most High with flawed technology, to try to replace a perfect power or unlimited power with flawed, limited technology. Okay? That's futile, man. That's pointless. You see? It says the kings of the earth prepare for battle. The rulers plot together against the Lord and against his anointed one. Yeah, so to even posture yourself up, because this new world order is Esau and these heathens posturing themselves up against the Most High. Like the Most High ain't him. Okay? Like Yahweh Shai don't have all power. Okay? This is foolish, man. Verse 3 said, let us break their chains, they cry, and free ourselves from slavery to the Most High. Okay? And then remember, this is the thought of a goddamn fool to think like this. Okay? To free yourself from the Most High. He exists from the scriptures say he's from everlasting to everlasting, but you say I'm gonna free myself from him. You finite as hell, you regular as hell, but you gonna free yourself, okay, from an all-powerful power, a power that can't even be measured. Okay, we can't even begin to figure out the Most High past what he's given us to know. Okay, our mind don't even comprehend, okay, the Most High past what he's given us to know, man. You see? Verse 4 says, but the one who rules in heaven laughs. The Lord scoffs them. Then in anger he rebukes them, terrifying them with his fierce fury. Yeah, the Lord finna get act. That's that ride that's gonna come out. Okay? And how's he gonna, what's their main source? This war and sending back Yahushua, which is simultaneously, because when this war goes nuclear, Yahushua is gonna appear. And that's gonna be the Lord, that's gonna be the climax of the Lord's anger against the fool. Okay, these missiles destroying America, you know, destroying this beast system. All right, and Yahushua and the angels getting busy in them chariots, man. Okay, that's gonna be the Lord rebuking the fool, man. You see, it said, for the Lord declares, I have placed my chosen king on the throne in Jerusalem on my holy mountain. So the Lord is going to place Yahushua, okay, a wise ruler, okay, not a damn fool. Yahushua is going to be that wise ruler that replaces the goddamn fool Esau, man. Okay, verse 7 says, the king proclaims the Lord's decree. The Lord said to you, you are my son. Today I have become your father. And this is when Yahushua is being brought forth. I'm going to read this in the KJV, Psalms 2 and 7. So it goes back to the beginning. You know, because Psalms chapter 2, verses 1 through 6 is a build up to the judgment from the time of Esau and these nations conspiring of this new world order to the time that they're met with judgment. And then this new world order, all right, plot is destroyed. Okay? So then it goes back to the beginning, before the earth was made. Okay? Where you have the Heavenly Father bringing forth Yahushua. It says, I will declare the decree. The Lord has said unto me, thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Okay, so this was something that was promised to Yahushua before the earth was. So these heathens trying to, all right, put this birthright on themselves, which is Esau, ultimately. Esau was trying to put this birthright on him. Okay, which it was never for him. That's why the Lord allowed Jacob to supplant the birthright and the blessing from Esau. Because it was meant for Jacob anyway. And that's why Yahushua will come out of, all right, Jacob, the nation of Israel. Okay, to solidify that, hey, this is who that birthright was for anyway. Because Yahushua was given this blessing before the foundation of the world. Okay? Verse 9, it says, this is the point. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. You see that? There you go, that rod. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. So you get this word rod, and it's going to be for correction. Okay, now these heathens can be corrected. Esau can't be. That's why he's going to be exterminated after 1,000 years. Okay, these heathens, after their 1,000 years of their rigorous captivity, okay, of their rod of correction, they're gonna be able, all right, to exist in a righteous kingdom under us. Okay, but Esau is not in them. He has a defect. Okay, that can't be corrected, so he's gonna be done away with, man. Okay, so you go into this Hebrew word for rod, which is Shabbat. Okay, and when you go into it, all right, you go to a strong definition. It said literally a stick, all right, for punishing. Literally a stick for punishing. All right, it says fighting, ruling. All right, it says correction. Okay, it says a scepter, which represents rulership, and it's gonna be a rulership, all right, of correction on you heathens, man, and righteousness, man. Okay, it says for punishing. You see, like I said, yep, for punishing. Okay, for correction. You see, so this rulership Yahweh Shai is bringing is gonna be a rulership that's gonna punish these heathens. Okay, for the purpose of correction. Okay, because under Esau, these heathens have got way out of pocket, man. They don't forgot. Okay, they don't forgot the Most High don't play around. Okay, so he's gonna come. He's gonna send Yahushua. Okay, to conquer the earth in righteousness, man. And it's gonna be 1,000 years of that ride of correction, man. And when you go into Revelation, showing you that Yahushua is coming back to establish, okay, what was given to him in the book of Psalms, chapter 2, verse 7 and 8, which is the heathen, okay, for an inheritance and the earth for a possession. This is Revelation 2 and 25. But that which you have already, hold fast till I come. You know, so we got to keep the faith. You see, there's a doctrine that we believe in. There's an expectation and the hope that we have in our power. And we got to hold on to it in the worst of times. You know, we got to hold on to the promises made by our power. Okay? If we come to a time where, you know, where our faith is going to be tested, where, you know, Satan is going to push doubt, okay, and lose hope in the promise, we got to hold fast to that, man. You know, even in death, if death is on the table, well, we still got to hold fast. Okay, because when Yahushua comes, he's going to overturn, all right, the death sentences that was put on the elect. Okay, so even in death, man, we got to hold fast. Verse 26, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. To him will I give power over the nations. You see, which is authority. Okay? And what are we gonna have authority to do to aid Yahushua in correcting the nations, man? You see? Verse 27 says, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. There you go, that rod. As the vessels of a potter's clay shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my father. Going back to Psalms, the 2nd chapter. So the inheritance and the blessing that Yahushua received from the Father in Psalms, well, he's going to distribute that inheritance amongst his brethren, man. Okay, the elect. Okay, beginning with the first fruits. So you go here into this word rod, and let's go here in the Greek.
Strong's G 4464. Raptas. Raptas.
Right, yeah. So in the Greek is raptas. Okay, and when you go down, all right, it says a rod which, all right, a rod with which one is beaten, and it says when applied to kings, all right, represent rulership, kings. It says with a rod of iron indicates the severest, most rigorous rule. With a rod of iron indicates the most severest, most rigorous rule. Okay? So you heathens have a severe and rigorous, all right, captivity. Okay? Because you have gone since you partook in the severe rebellion with Esau. Well, you're gonna have to go through a severe and rigorous captivity to correct it. That rebellion that Esau, okay, has baked into you heathens, man. Okay, then Esau, you're gonna see Esau be cut out the earth, man. Okay, at the end of that 1,000 year, all right, rigorous captivity, and you nations are gonna always be in, all right, servitude and subjugated forever. Okay, tributaries forever. Okay, the 1,000 years, man, it's gonna be a vital point of correction. Okay, that's much needed in the earth and righteousness, man. So, just wanted to get that, Lord will, all right, you brothers, all right, and you few sisters edified. Once again, we give all praise and glory unto Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the whole elect. Shalom.